right here.
Yeah, I was hoping to catch that on the live. We just went live.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. We didn't think Rooster would join us, and he literally joined us, 10 seconds before the podcast started. So, welcome, buddy. I'm glad you can make it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Well, I will take it over from here. We don't have anybody listening right now. That's okay. Welcome to the First Focal Plane Podcast, episode 22.
22.
Yeah, we made it 20. We haven't been canceled yet, so that's a good.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's the night
nice
is young.
thing about being on the internet.
That's right.
Hey, have you talked about syndication yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of syndication, we have to monetize somehow, so we're going to pay some bills here. So, First Focal Plane Podcast, once again, proudly, fucked it up already. Proudly brought to you by EM Precision Rifles. Established in 2014, EM Precision Rifles in Leduc, Alberta is one of Canada's premier precision and long-range rifle builders. From lightweight hunting rifles and precision starter packages to extreme long-range bullet hoses, hammers, you name it. EM Precision's craftsmanship speaks for itself, and they have the expertise to build you one or multiple lifetime rigs. Check them out, emprifles.ca, Facebook, Instagram, etc.
Thank you, EMP Rifles.
Yes, thanks, Shane, Steve. If you guys have a build, check them out. They will hook you up, tell them we sent you, and they will not give you a deal. They'll probably charge you more. So.
Yeah. Oh, you listen to those bozos?
Oh yeah. We are also supported by Bolt Action Coffee. So I'm not going to get into the whole read, but they have great coffee. I'm not drinking it. We should send Dave and Dustin some because it'll blow your mind, guys. They have coffee. Well, they have coffee cupping scores of 85.5 or higher on the internationally recognized coffee scale. I have no idea what that means, but it's good. It's amazing. It'll
si bueno.
Yes.
I'm on my fourth pot today, so send a lot.
Okay.
There you go. We'll try and work that out. They sold out of their 11th hour roast, so thanks everybody for helping them out. Make sure you use code First Focal Plane in all caps to get 10% off your order. Doing so helps the show, and you're helping out Canadian veterans and that sort of thing as well. So, yeah,
not bad.
Right on. Well, let's go around the table here. I'll start. I'm Sean, father of one, ag equipment specialist, and perpetual poor.
Perpetual. Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo, hey.
Father of one, dual income, perpetual poor.
Yeah,
just wait, son.
But it's Canada. We're taxed at like 70%. So
that's not an income problem. That's a priorities problem.
That's right. Hey?
Isn't that right? Yeah, true.
Right
they caught me at weak moments. I mean, those women. I wore out a pair of boots going down the aisle. I've got a great record. Hey, everybody, I'm Rooster.
Okay, go on.
Oh, no. I'm just a boring precision long range guy. And these guys are trying to school me in pistols and shotgun, and it's proving to be a challenge. I like to make challenges for other people. Yeah. I like to influence people every day, at least someone.
Make friends and influence people. That's some successful quote stuff right there. Chris, who the hell are you?
My video still suck? Does my video still suck?
I don't know.
No, well, a little bit. You're a little grainy.
Well, here's the thing. I'm Chris, and I'm the stand-in for Rooster, who couldn't be here tonight, who is fucking there. So I'm kind of like I'm literally the third wheel now. However, I am the handsomer, shorter bearded version of Rooster.
I will agree.
In the same city. Not a precision long range guy though. So there's that. You've got that. And I'm just happy to be here because like I'm not supposed to. So
that's okay. We love you all the same, buddy.
Okay. That's very nice.
As soon as you're done pouting, like, welcome to the show, buddy. I'm glad you're here.
and my video sucks because I'm literally doing this at work. And
oh no,
I think my employees are eating all my bandwidth on Pornhub or something.
You gotta have a staff meeting, dude.
Yeah. If you're gonna watch porn at work, do it on your mobile data.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. And Dave and Dustin.
All right. Well, I'm Dave with Athlon. I am the equally bearded but still better looking version of Dustin here.
It's all about the beards tonight. Eh?
As far as what I do around here, I wear many hats. I do everything from traveling around to do product training, bird watching, long range shooting, to kind of overseeing our quality department, customer service, warranty, and everything like that. So I do a little of everything and serve as the face of this company. Fortunately, we couldn't afford better models, but they get what they get.
Hey guys, I'm Dustin. I'm the marketing manager here. I'm an avid shooter. I started off USPSA 3-gun, got into precision long range, got into a little bit of light class ELR, PRS, and really taken up on 22 ELR, NRL 22, NRL 22X here in the States. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Just avid shooter, have a good time, and do the marketing here.
He's kind of talking your language, isn't he, Chris, with the 22s?
Well, you know, everybody pegs me as a
guy?
22 guy because I'm involved with Project Maple Seed, but I mean,
Yeah, but don't you
I
love
like
it?
22 because it's cheap, you know.
All right,
like,
what's your
that's great.
longest shot? What's your longest shot, Chris?
With a 22?
With the 22.
Well, you know, are we talking on a bipod or on a lead sled, or are we talking about like
Longest
actual
shot
shooting?
period.
Longest shot period.
Oh shit, I don't even know. I think the longest actually is the longest that my range goes. So we were hitting the gong at 300 a while ago, like last year.
Mhm.
Come down to Kansas. I'll put you on at 600.
Yeah,
No kidding.
let's do
Yep.
it.
Would you get out
I'll-
to 600?
600.
Do I have to
600
social?
so far.
Do I have to social distance when I get down there?
I mean, we'll be outside.
No,
So,
they
you
make
know,
us wear
we'll be all
masks.
right.
We're good.
Yeah, just say no and I'll be there tomorrow. Like,
Right.
Fair enough. We'll see you.
So what ammunition are you using to get out that far?
I actually chronograph all my 22 ammo. So some lots I'll put back for practice if I want to do a little positional practice. What doesn't meet what I would consider a decent lot of ammo. The SDs or extreme spread is too big. I'll put it aside. I've had good luck with a little bit of everything. Ely Club was actually what I did my last 600 yard shoot with.
Wow.
I shoot a lot of Lapua Center X. It's a little more consistent lot to lot, but you know, just chronograph it, see what works, and go from there.
Nice. Yeah, my longest is 300 yards as well. but you know what? You know what's stupid? All the technology that I have and equipment. When I made those 300-yard shots, it was with an old Marlin with peep sights.
Yeah.
mhm.
I guess I haven't tried hard enough with my scoped rifles.
So speaking of high-end rifles, can we just take a moment and like, first of all, last time I was on here, I told you guys that I love Doug and Doug is the best. So Doug, just Dave and Dustin, he needs some high-end glass for his 1890 Winchester 22 pump action.
Seems
that
logical.
Does that even have a scope rail on it?
If there ever was a guy who needed your high-end Cronus scope,
Yes.
this is it.
I have access to a TIG
That would
welder.
be a great setup. We got a lot of options for him, but Cronus is definitely the number one.
Nice.
Oh God.
We're right on. So let's dive into it. So, Dave and Dustin, what is Athlon?
All right. So Athlon, we have been around. We're based out of Kansas City. We're just south of Kansas City in Olathe, Kansas. Been around since about 2014. Kind of got a start with precision long range optics, as well as like a full line of hunting stuff. And kind of with the sole purpose, provide a quality product, good service, good warranty, in an industry we like. And 6 years later, here we are. You know, we made it to the big time talking to you guys.
You're not wrong.
So We're an office full of shooters. Everything from Dustin being more of a long range guys. Majority of us are just simple whitetail hunters, but everyone here has a passion for it, and it's
we've got some guys that are big into multi-gun sports.
Yep.
Big game.
We have 3 gunners. We got a little bit of everything, so a good conglomerate of knowledge, and we're just here to share our passions with people.
Nice. Well, the reason I asked you guys on is I picked up on recommendation from EM Precision Rifles. I picked up Midas TAC 5-25 first focal plane and love it. And actually, Kurt's in possession of that right now, doing some load development with me. Surprised it's not up in the background, Kurt.
Well, listen, man, I got home literally 2.5 minutes before I came on, so I didn't have time to set up the studio.
Excuses.
I know.
Anyway, see, Dave, you guys started up pretty relatively soon. How's business going for you?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, with everything going on in the world and how popular long range shooting's become, record-breaking months all year long. It's been a great year for us. We're growing exponentially. We're really making a dent in that market and trying to be up there with those guys like Vortex.
Even before COVID, it was just exponentially every year.
Yeah, as well as before.
Doubling and tripling.
It was every year. It's doubling our growth from the year before. We're projected again next year to set records, and we're real happy with where we're at.
Nice. So, awesome. What do you guys attune that success to?
I think it's back to that again. The people we work with, the grouping of knowledge that we have. What makes our customer service as good as it is not just fixing the problem, but there's someone in the office that's going to be somewhat of an expert in that field that can help you out, as well as us traveling around and demonstrating the products and letting people shoot 1,000 yards who have never done it, showing you it is possible at a price that's not going to kill you.
And part of the equation, I think, is our products. They do come partly from our knowledge, but we build off of our customer base a lot. A lot of what our customers are requesting, we take that into account and produce what they're asking for. We're not just dreaming up our own thing. We take our customers' concerns to heart and produce the reticles or the scope designs that they're wanting.
And when we are kind of coming up with new reticles, usually we'll get a sample of it, and everyone's looking through in the office with something they want to see different. Like, I don't like this or that. And eventually we come to a pretty solid.
Well, that whole thing's got to be pretty damn crucial, especially in the market as it is today.
Oh yeah,
man, there's a lot out there, and the choices can get, I'm sure, daunting. Like the decision to make which scope to get, and the fact that you're out there plugging away and showcasing in that. Probably makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Do I have to raise my hand if I want to ask a question?
No, get in here. Just rudely interrupt like Sean does.
Excuse me.
I wanted to ask a follow-up to that, actually. Like, you just kind of alluded to, like, the market is like, there's a lot of big players in the market, and there's a lot of to make inroads in there that can't be the easiest thing in the world. So like, as they say, you have to set yourself apart. Like, all business is marketing and innovation. How are you guys, what is your niche? What are you innovating on to really set yourselves apart from all those other chuckleheads out there?
Quality matched with price point. As you tell, most of our stuff is at a more affordable price for a guy who wants to do this at a hobby and not commit his life to it. And that, as you said, that's the tough part to get into this industry is, as you know, name recognition is huge. I grew up in a household with an old man that every scope had to have a gold ring around the end of it. That was the only scope you should buy. And part of me traveling around as well as others, and we kind of started our Get Behind the Glass challenge about a year and a half ago. Let people look through it. It's something, if you can see it for yourself and see that it does everything my higher end stuff will do for a lower price. And that's really where we're coming in and making those improvements.
Really streamlining the process, working directly. We design everything here in-house and then have it outsourced to manufacturer. And streamlining that process really makes it
We're real hands-on with them from the point of manufacture to the point of sale, as well as every scope that comes through here is quality checked by a human with, that's going to turn the knobs, going to check the resolution. So we're really doing our best to give that quality product.
What does it take to be that human?
You planning a move or what?
Maybe.
I'm
getting tired of Trudeau, so
a good YouTube playlist, because it's a lot of boring days turning knobs and counting clicks to make sure that it's tracking right.
Listen,
it's
where I work, I deal with a lot of
for
knobs.
us.
Yeah.
Hey, as a side note, Sean, could you answer Kelly for me? For some reason, I have to create a stupid account on this thing to be able to participate in the chat.
Oh, really? Oh, my
Yeah.
God. I will respond.
I should have done that before we went live, but hey, Kelly, what's up, Kelly?
Yeah, just tell her. Fuck, I'm not
Just
your scribe. Jesus Christ.
Well, Kelly, I was supposed to fill in for Kurt, the
Yes.
rooster guy, and then 30 seconds before they went on air, he fucking showed up, rendering my position completely moot.
That's not at all true.
No,
Here we go. I thought you were out of your pouting phase. Here you are back.
No, I'm firmly entrenched in my pouting phase.
Chris, you bring a modicum of respect that is sorely lacking to this show. So props to you, sir.
True.
Well,
true.
Man, if you guys want to set your bar that low, then I guess I'll be your huckleberry. But
the bar was set
What
long
bar?
before you got here.
The bar's right here. I thought, yeah.
So anyway, rifle scopes.
Yeah.
Back to it.
So, okay, you guys talked about having, a lower price point. So you guys obviously have to make some money in that. How do you guys keep your costs low, whereas still putting out such a high quality product? Can you explain some of that?
It's part of that streamlined process. It's the relationship with the factory where we build it. First off is the owner of our company from previous experience had built that relationship, and he's able to do that, as well as things like designing your own reticles. Like a lot of people don't know, when you buy the horse reticle, that adds however much money to each scope that company has bought that reticle to put in there. So when you make them yourself, that's another cost eliminating.
Okay.
So it's that innovation that kind of sets it.
So you guys aren't buying, base pieces and parts. You guys are really doing everything in house.
Yeah,
everything is designed for, like you said, from the ground up, sent to the factory to be made.
I imagine that probably makes aftermarket service easier.
In a way.
Yeah.
In a way.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
That's we still have trouble with different aftermarket accessories and different things like that. Finding the right ones that'll work, because we are a newer product that people may have not had a Cronus BTR to measure for a throw lever or something like that.
Sorry, I actually meant after sales service. I know I said aftermarket service. That's because.
Oh, I'm sorry. A little trouble hearing you sometimes.
I'm a
Pick
fill-in.
Chris, or you're out of here.
Yeah, how many strikes do I get before you guys just cancel my whole video?
Gets 3.
No. But no, it does. We have 2 guys that spend their entire day every day that do repair scopes. So we have guys that are knowledgeable that can take it apart. I myself sat there for a few months with Glenn and tried to learn how to do it, but there's a lot that goes into a scope. But no, we have guys that take it apart. It does make it a bit easier knowing that it's all parts that we've come up with.
Which is probably, for everybody listening, that's probably, very comforting knowing that you guys are able to do all of that in-house, especially, you guys have a lifetime warranty. That's, there's some other big names out there that are offering that as well. And that seems like something that would set you guys apart, that you're doing everything, right?
I'll tell you, lifetime warranty this time of year is pretty fun around here. No, I shouldn't say fun. Guys are pulling firearms out of the safe that they haven't used in a year, and you get all kinds of warranty claims. We had one last week. A guy forgot to unload his muzzleloader last year and decided to put a second charge in on top of it. And when he pulled the trigger, thank God he wasn't hurt, but when he pulled the trigger, the barrel blew with such force that it it busted the scope, every lens out of it, and it blew the scope out of the rings.
Holy.
Of course, it was covered.
Well,
You know,
Look at
it
Dave's
was user
reaction.
error, obviously, but we covered it. We took care of it.
You guys
We're
still
glad he's
covered
all
that?
right.
We will. I've always told people, as long as you can send it to me and I can tell it's an Athlon, I'm going to get you. I worked for the warranty department for a long time. We had a guy drop an Aries spotting scope 1,500 feet down a mountain. I had another guy run over his Cronus BTR with his Ford F350, and I sent him a brand new one.
So do you guys
we do our best?
do you guys offer training when some of these fellas send scopes back for warranty?
You know,
We have some long conversations.
when I was when I worked in warranty, I told Dustin in marketing here that our slogan needs to be, we sell to the toughest of tough shooters. Because everyone I talk to is, are you sure you have it mounted right? Oh, I'm the guy everybody comes to. I'm the expert.
Yeah.
I'm the best. Been
Yeah.
doing this for 30 years. No, we try to offer as much training as possible, but again, it's not a hobby. A lot of guys like to admit they miss.
Yeah.
For sure. So do you guys do a lot of like commercial, like law enforcement or military contracts or anything like that?
As far as the contracts go, they're working on it and getting it into the hands of more law enforcement and military. We do have a dedicated law enforcement and military sales rep where someone wants to buy one at a discount. Certainly they could do that. But getting it in the hand of these law enforcement offices is a little tough, you know, without the name recognition. But something I could foresee in the future.
That being said, we're definitely supporting that segment of the industry. In 2021, you're going to see a pretty extensive tactical line rollout from us. Quite a few new options in that aspect. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement come from some of those 2021 releases. So everybody pay attention and wait for that. I'd love to tell you more, but we haven't announced it yet.
Just in time to put it on a straight pull AR.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, and I was going to say, you know, with Trudeau or the ban potentially getting stayed.
Are we
for a while.
not calling him he who shall not be named
Yeah,
yet?
he who shall not be Voldemort.
Yeah.
No, call that cocksucker out. What
Yeah,
the hell?
exactly.
Jeez.
But with the ban potentially getting stayed, and then if COVID subsides, if it's a hard if, ARs are back in the game, and that means 3-gun and everything's coming back, which means Sean's in the market for a new 1-8, 1-8 for his competition gun. So can you just wink in Morse code to me, Dustin, if that's coming down the pipe?
Well, we already have, we
Not
have
a 1-8, but I don't know why
Absolutely.
you would stop at a 1-8.
Hint.
As I
Nudge,
slowly
nudge.
sip my coffee.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. First Focal Plane podcast coming at you live. Anyway,
That's a good point. First focal plane of that.
Yeah.
Just for the people who are
Clever.
listening to the audio podcast version of this, he totally winked.
totally.
Totally winked.
I saw
Totally.
it. Witnesses.
Yeah,
Or
like
was
like
that a
his
double
his
eye?
his mustache moved and everything.
Don't give them any more. All right?
I got a little Captain Morgan all over my screen.
We want to be
there.
invited
No.
back next year so we can tell you more.
That's right.
Why wait a year?
Yeah.
Whenever you guys want to have us, we're happy to be here.
Well, if we can
Awesome.
make it work. Anyway, regardless. So what are some of your guys' bread and butter models?
Argos BTR.
Yeah.
I saw a guy, I think his name was Corey, comment a little earlier. First
Adriel.
focal plane optic. It's hard to beat the Argos BTR. It's kind of what put us on the map. I'd say 10-1. We sell more of those in the mill
It's the
reticle
price
than
point,
anything
though.
else.
It's a good
First focal
blast for the
point on
money,
a
and
30 millimeter tube for under $400. Precision zero stop. It's got everything you need from a guy who does it once a month to a guy that wants to do competitions. It'll handle it. So
Really?
at $399, I believe they're going for now. You can't find first focal plane at that with the features it has.
No kidding.
It comes in that's an Argos BTR line is what we have the 1-8 in. That's a second focal plane. And then it jumps up. We have a 6-24 by 50 and an 8-34 by 56. So both available in mill or MOA. So it's the best option we have
Now,
for entry level.
I think you said you had the Midas TAC, which is the next step up from that line. That's a pretty big jump in glass quality. That gets you into the HD, and of course we've got UHD lenses past that, which is an extra low dispersion glass. But yeah, the Argus BTR definitely kind of put us on the map, and then we've expanded from there, obviously.
Is this a good time for me to ask you guys about the names?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking nerd, man. Like all the like. There's probably like literally one other nerd out there who's listening, who's like, yeah, ask them about the names. Okay, so Sean, me and Sean want to know. And okay, so obviously it's all Greek based. Like Athlon in Greek essentially means
Metal.
Prize. Yep.
Prize.
metal or prize, yeah. And so here's something interesting that I noticed. You guys, I want you to tell me if I'm like tinfoil hatting and seeing patterns that aren't there. I'm a beautiful minding this thing, or if this is actually intentional. Okay, because on your website, we're kind of going from like most expensive scope to least expensive scope. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're looking at let's say in terms of the long range scopes. I'm not going to talk about like the hunting or any other. I was just looking at the long range scope. So we start with the Cronus scopes, right?
Yep.
So Cronus, obviously, one of the Titans, one of like the elder gods of Greek mythology. Okay.
This guy is way too smart for this.
Yeah.
podcast.
No.
Yeah,
Hold on.
continue.
Stay with me.
right.
Yeah, stay with me.
I'm playing games on my phone right now.
Did you have to take a piss or something, Rooster? Now's a good time for a bathroom break.
He's gonna take the piss the whole show.
Because I'm taking you down the rabbit hole here.
All right, let's go.
So the next scope down that you and this is the order that you guys list them. Okay, so the next scope down is the Ares.
Yep.
Okay, Ares is a god of Greece. Okay, so exactly. So you go from a Titan, an elder god.
Yep.
To the next in the line is a god.
Yep.
Then you go to the Midas, who is a king.
Yep.
Okay. Then you go to the Helios, or Helios. Now, I suppose it depends on who you talk to. Like Helios is either was he a demigod or it's also a place.
I didn't know.
Helios. Was that wasn't the sun god, was it? No.
No. You're thinking of Perseus and who's the sun god? Welcome to God's History Channel.
I feel like I'm in history.
I'm just going to be over here playing with my Lego.
I think
This is the
Helios was a place.
Dan Carlin's hardcore history version of the episode. Anyway, then you go to the Argos.
He is the sun. Greek personification of the sun.
Okay, so
nailed it.
Way to go, Dustin.
I assumed you guys were talking about Helos, which is it's a place in Greece. So I was thinking you were going Titan, God, King, and then place, because Argos is also a place. So I guess that's not necessary.
That's very perceptive.
Yeah. Then what's next, Chris? Tony Roma's restaurant.
Yes. Tony Roma's is not Greek. Let's be honest. So anyway, how did you guys? Here's the point. Here's the question that I was leading up to all this time.
All fucking time. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, if you just let me fucking say it, then it's only like 30 minutes instead of 45.
Get to it.
How did you guys come up with the names? Like, what do you guys have a story behind them, or are you just like Kronos? That sounds fucking cool. Let's call it a Kronos. Like, is there?
To my knowledge, a little bit before my time here, I think it kind of started with like the Cronus as the scope, and they wanted something that signified like the best of the best, the biggest, the strongest, the best, and that kind of Cronus, the Titan god or whatever, is kind of what they landed on, and everything down from there kind of got named in order.
I like it.
Good deal. I like it. Hey, you should just start telling everybody that you order them in line of importance. You went from Titan to God to King to place. You should just yes.
It's actually pretty good. I'm gonna have to remember that.
Yeah, totally intentional.
Because I get asked that more than you think. Actually, you're not the first person to ask where did these come from. So
yeah.
Well, do you want to be a god or a king or?
And just so you know, just so you all know, guys, with the Cronus BTR, Argos BTR, that doesn't stand for anything. Because that's the next question I always get. It's not bright tactical reticle or big
HMR.
Big turrets, rifle scope. I've heard it all. It's just an acronym, or not an acronym, excuse me. It's just an indication so we can keep them apart. So same with
there you go.
HMR and TAC. Same as, I guess, tactical.
You have to come up with an acronym.
It's nothing's as creative as
The
what you
only
guys think.
the only thing those 3 letters at the end of the scope really indicate is that if you are the type of guy that wants to shoot it on an air rifle, it's going to hold up.
Mhm.
You know, that's something that a lot of scope manufacturers can't claim, that it'll survive on an air rifle, a Springer. But anything with 3 letters after it, you're good to go.
Yep. As I tell people, if it has any kind of 3-letter designation, put it on an air gun, you'll never have a problem with it. But it's just
So with some of the high-powered air guns that are coming out, do you see that that's a kind of a market need? Is something that
huge.
Yeah. If you look at our product line, whether you're an air rifle shooter or a 22 shooter, we've got quite a few options that go down to 10 yards on parallax. So, yeah,
And also,
definitely something
something that Dustin talked on earlier. Kind of what made the Midas TAC line really popular is one of the features was the floating center dot reticle, 0.02 mils on that center dot. So it's not going to obstruct those small targets in your first focal plane. And after the TAC, it just kind of trickled up into the Ares ETR and Cronus BTR line. It tends to be what everybody wants. So there's a lot of great options for air rifles.
nice.
And
Okay,
for maple cedars, because that's how you were mentioning it before. So for maple cedars is fantastic, and if we have like the two most involved people running maple seeds listening right now. Like Kelly and Adrian will run more maple seeds than anybody.
Very true.
And to answer another guy's question, no, we are not Athlon Canada. Right?
No.
It went by too quick.
There's
Yeah,
no
you sounded
way.
like you sounded like you had a Newfoundland accent there.
Shalipka. Yeah.
We sound like we're from the Midwest. That's about all.
Yeah.
The lack of dialect that we get in Kansas.
indistinguishable from anywhere.
We're both of us are Kansas born and bred. So the heartland.
You guys are sold in Walmart.
What's that?
Oh no,
You guys are sold in Walmart. Good for you.
In Canada?
Yeah, we've got dealers
Walmart.ca, man. I'm staring right at it here.
Wow.
I think it's online only, and I think it's only certain SKUs. I think it's like the Neos Talos line, kind of the entry level rifle scopes. Yeah.
Actually, on Walmart.ca, you've got the Argos BTR, the Ares BTR, and the Midas TAC 6 on here.
You might have a dealer or distributor up there that is posting them on Walmart too, just like Amazon. I don't know what you guys do for
fulfillment or whatever.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Right on. So, what are some of the challenges you guys have faced since 2014, since you guys got started?
Getting that name recognition out there, as we touched on with the huge name recognition, and getting people to take a chance on something new. If you've never heard of Athlon and you've been stuck on a certain scope for all your life, mostly getting the word out. That's why we're real happy to join you guys and do this and spread it as much as possible. Yeah. I've traveled to, I don't know, however most of the states. Dustin's gone with me, and getting the word out. And
for me, sleep.
That's a huge challenge.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get messages from people.
Same with Kurt. Yeah.
All night long, all morning, all day. And trying to keep up with that and talk to people one-on-one. You definitely lose a little bit of sleep.
Okay. So
you get used to it after a while.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
Yeah. Eventually you run on coffee.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no kidding. So do you guys have
action coffee?
Yeah,
boom.
Exactly. Score higher. So where do you guys get your glass from?
Various factories, same ones that manufacture. So all of our products are made in China with the exception of the Cronus BTR. The Cronus BTR rifle scope line is Japanese. So they do come from various factories. We actually only use a certain really high quality factories coming out of both countries.
That being said, there's only a few factories in the world that have put so much time and money into new glass equipment here in the last decade. and we're happy to work with one of the major leaders in that industry. So,
no kidding, and that's got to be a definite bonus to gaining market share too. Is getting one of those high end glass manufacturers and keeping those costs down low, so that you can make margin and keep the doors open.
20 years ago, you wouldn't have expected China to be able to put out a good piece of glass, but they have come so far. I mean, they're competing very well with Japan on a lot of the aspects of it.
Their manufacturing capabilities. What they're producing out of there, it's blowing your mind now, like the Midas tackle, like you've seen in that 5.
Yeah.
That was actually the first scope I think I picked up when I started here. We only had the 624 version. Sold me. I absolutely loved it, and then they decided to give it some steroids and make it a 5-25 with a 34 millimeter tube. And blown away by the quality they're producing.
Nice. Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah. Still trying to convince Ben to let me demo a few out of his shop just to really find out.
That's at the Extreme Range Outfitters in Saskatoon. Shout out to Ben.
Yes, sir.
Isaac coming at you with a question earlier on in the show. Are you going to comb out with an anti-reflection device for the Aries ETR, like the honeycomb?
Sorry, Dustin was pointing out with a honeycomb lens. You'd be able to answer that better, right?
We haven't really gotten into any of the anti-reflective devices like that. We're still pretty much a sunshade kind of deal. Throw levers, that's another thing that we need to look at. Definitely some of the aftermarket support there. I see Mike asking if how do we get started with the companies there. The guys that started this company did work in the industry prior, so they've got a good relationship across the industry. They broke off and started their own deal, and here we are today.
I worked at Bush now. I didn't get fed up and leave, but no.
You know what, guys? We're
That's
not
where
here
I got
to...
my start in rifle scopes, but they're kind of local to us here and there. Some of us were there.
Well, we're not here to shit on other companies, right? Like everybody makes a great optic, and
absolutely.
What separates you guys from maybe some of those other companies is the down to earth people you got working for you, and the service you provide on top of the high quality product. So that's why we reached out to you and to get you on the show, right? So, but no, then Mike, that's a great question. I heard that rumor too. In fact, I heard it was guys that came from a company that started with a V. But regardless,
I heard that they started the company after they won some specs in a poker game.
Ooh.
I'm going with that.
Let's do that. Lost the bet on the 2020 federal election or 2014. Nice. So we talked about some of your bread and butter. What's some of the not as well known products you guys have that maybe you'd like to get some shine some light on, if you will?
A couple for me. Whenever someone says, give me one product or two products that I have to look through. For me, the range finding binos. They're part of our Cronus, like our top end binocular glass, 2,600 yard rangefinder built in off a reflective target. That one you have to show people for them to believe. And then I'd say the Cronus BTR 1-6. I think every time I put one of those to every time I shoulder a rifle with one of those,
incredibly forgiving eye box.
I want to buy one.
Phenomenal reticle.
I don't even own one.
Yeah, it's a fast scope. Even with the 1-8 in our lineup on the Argos line, the Cronus 1-6. God, it is fast. I really enjoy shooting that in 3-gun, 2-gun. We'll do some gas gun matches here, and a lot of those guys will run a higher power scope. We've ran the Cronus 1-6 at gas gun matches, and even then you don't feel terribly undergunned. I mean, it's just a fast, easy to get behind scope. The turrets are foolproof on it. You've got a zero stop locking turrets, and the reticle. It's essentially a red dot with a BDC hold for 68 or 69 grain Botel hollow points. And that red dot is truly daylight bright. It acts like a red dot when you're shooting it. That's kind of hard to say with any LPVO that it kind of duplicates a red dot, and it's pretty dang close.
You know, it looks like it would fit really great. Sorry, it looks like it would fit really great on an AR-10 hunting rifle.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely. Lightweight.
Now, if
It has both windage and elevation turrets are locking on it. So it actually works pretty good for hunting. You don't have to worry about losing that zero, busting it through the brush, throwing in a barrel 3-gun, and it's pretty multi-purpose, really.
We've actually got one. We've actually
if
got
only we
one
could use
mounted on
those in
a-
Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We've actually
You
got
can't
one.
do
She's banned.
We've actually got one mounted on a 375 H&H, and one of our pro staffers runs on just like a 6.5 Creedmoor because he hunts in thick brush. So having a wide field of view for
Wow.
coming around a willow tree, and
Yeah.
there it is. Yeah, it works great for spot and stock and thick brush. And
That would appear to our friend Oscar with
Yeah.
his love of 375 H&H for
Elephant
gopher
guns.
hunting. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got big gophers up here, especially in Alberta. Teeth like this, man.
Well, and Dave, and Dustin, that was a good segue. I was thinking, I'm a fan of 5-power for competition, and all the rage in 3-gun is, the 1 in 10 or 1 in 8, and for especially 3-gun matches, and being that you have an optic that can emulate a red dot, but still get you that magnification to get out to 300, 400 at a at a fast pace. That's very cool, and that kind of segues into my next question. So, you have a scope that emulates a red dot. Any interest in getting into red dots or something in that, like an RMR style or something like that?
No, we do have a full line of red dots and prism scopes as well. So, what was he trying to tell me?
Oh, comment. Was that a subtle hint?
I can't type, so I'm just fucking doing it old school and holding the paper up.
We do have a full line of red dots. We have a 3 and 4 power prism. So a couple options there. We have kind of a pistol dot, little reflex, our TSR1, and
kind of a closed, very small micro red dot.
Then we have the TSR2, a little bit bigger, and then the TSR3, a little bit better. I always tell people it'd be great on like a shotgun if you're hunting turkey or anything like that. All of our red dots are shake and wake with 50,000 hours of battery life. So you grab it and go.
They were all new for 2020. We had red dots to start with, and we completely revamped the line. All the new stuff for 2020 has been moving very quickly. It's very hard to keep it in stock. We've not been out for any long periods of time, luckily, but it's moving very well down here in the States.
Well, I would say considering, some of the manufacturers have billions of dollars. Well, Vista Outdoors just announced on the weekend that they got $1 billion ammo backlog.
I saw that.
Yeah, and you guys, $1 billion. So what's that going to mean to us in Canada? But regardless, with guys, being, carry optics being, one of the growing segments of the market. You guys have, like you said, a reflex and that sort of thing. Do you guys see any potential in that for growing the product or anything like that? Or
yes,
a lot of interest.
I think you'll continue to see, like I said, 2021, you'll see some additions on the tactical line, and I think going forward from there, you're going to see even more in the red dots. And
I'm getting excited the more we talk about this. Nice.
Let them go, Sean.
That sounds squishy.
You guys ask a question now. I'm
You're
about red dots.
You're just going to bore everybody with long range stuff anyway. So,
well, that's okay.
Let's talk long range. Have fun, Dustin.
I know, right?
Leave me over here by myself. That's fine.
I'll be in my office when you guys need me.
All right, long range. I got a question for you guys. Have you seen a primer in the last 6 months?
Yeah.
That's funny you should say that, because we've had another guest on from Missouri that's been very vocal with the same sentiment. So far, and listen, our consumption up here is not what it is in the States. We haven't seen much for shortage, at least. Well, I guess I haven't been to the store in 2 or 3 weeks to look for primers. There are a few select brands and types that are hard to get, and they always have been. But it sounds like what you guys are experiencing down there is far worse than what we're seeing so far.
Chance you could take some pistol primers and throw them in that coffee, just kind of smuggle them into it.
You didn't hear it
for
here.
Us? Yeah.
No way.
You send a couple of those
For those
reflexes
for those not watching, he shook his head. No.
Yeah.
I mean, what primers? What are you talking about?
RCMP, look over there. You know what though? Like on that point though, like we may not be seeing it yet, but we'll see it.
We will.
I mean, damn straight.
If all of the manufacturing backlogs aren't sorted out by the time all of our distributors and retailers need to reorder,
Yeah.
like what are we getting primers from China now? I don't think so.
All of ours will be labeled Dominion or Norinco. That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
No
I for
offense to
one
those
can't
guys,
wait for those high quality Norinco primers.
Oh, no kidding.
We may not need to shoot far or accurately coming up real soon here, anyways, if things keep going the way they are.
Yeah.
Not alluding to anything.
We'll see.
We're so far back on primers. I wouldn't care if every third one of them actually went off. I'd be happy with that at the moment.
Yeah.
Well,
Just be digging on that charging handle like crazy, hey?
Well, one of the good friends of the show
all
is-
beat up. What'd you do? You shot your whole can off the front of the rifle.
I
about
had
30
a baffle
yards down
strike. I
range?
had a baffle strike on a suppressor that broke the baffle stack. The suppressor was still left on the barrel, but the entire baffle stack is buried somewhere in the berm.
Oh
Jeez.
no!
Mind you, the berm is 100 yards away. I never found it.
Suppressors,
Really?
what are those like?
Yeah, what are
I was gonna
suppressors?
say, quit your bitching. At least you have suppressors.
Yeah.
Damn it.
At least
I
you've
have
got
the
a suppressor
opportunity
to
to
blow
blast
off
one
your
off.
gun into the berm.
Wow.
Yeah. If you've ever shot, a 50 BMG without a muzzle brake, I assume that's exactly what this felt like.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
no doubt, right?
A sledgehammer to the shoulder. It was pretty, pretty
He
intense.
was all black and blue and torn up there. So it was
Well,
pretty good
I
time
shot a
living.
Barrett M82 at or the semi-auto with the free floating barrel 50 in Vegas. What was that? Whatever. And yeah, it was like that. You got smacked with a ton of gas and coming back, and like I can only I've never shot suppressed in my life, but I'd love to. And
I got
It is
punched
worth
by my
going to the
sister
land
one
of freedom
time.
so that you can try a suppressor.
well, if COVID ever
They
subsides.
are a hell of a lot of fun.
They should be mandatory. That way I wouldn't be deaf.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, like they're legal in Europe. Why are they not legal here? Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever.
They're not Hollywood quiet for the most
No.
part. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
22s, that's about it.
kids still wear your ears, but it
Yeah.
it helps out a lot. It really does.
Well, no kidding. Well, right on. Well,
Could you guys do us a favor? Could you put that in a letter and send it to our prime minister?
Yeah.
I think
That would make any difference?
Seriously, I think a letter from Athlon is the only thing like that would push it right over the edge.
They won't even listen to taxpaying Canadians at this point. Why would they listen to a foreign body that Anyway, I digress.
I'm throwing spaghetti against the wall, man.
Yeah,
you
no
are,
kidding.
man.
Well, right on. Well, do you guys have any new stuff that was just released or anything coming out? Or
Really, the most part this time of year. Unfortunately, SHOT Show was canceled this year. Is when we announce all the cool new stuff. But just keep checking with us. The website, on Facebook, the Athlon Uprising page. We're still working with names on that right now. We're going with the Uprising, but it joined. You'll see product releases. You'll stay up to date on everything as far as we know.
Yeah. I would suspect you'll probably hear something by the end of the month, 1st of December, that kind of time frame. You'll see a pretty good release there.
nice. Okay. So what are you guys gonna do in the meantime now that SHOT and event? Well, NRA annual meetings is shortly after that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any plans to do like a virtual show or anything like that? Or
I know we've been kind of working in the office, a couple ideas of how do we present that virtually. Something in the works, just being able to kind of schedule times with people to show them this product and we'll know what we're doing over here.
Nice. Do you guys have any desire to come up to Canada and have a booth at TACON?
I love Canada. Whenever you want, I'm there.
We should get him in touch with Fred, Kurt.
He's only saying that because he's never been to Saskatchewan.
I know. We should bring him here in February and say there's a gun show.
You know what though? He's been to
gun show.
Winterpeg though.
When
did you?
We won't hold that.
That's what it's called. What month were you in Winterpeg though? Because that's really the determining factor.
I actually went to the University of North Dakota, so it was a good chance for us to go.
Fighting Sioux.
They were the Fighting Sioux. I think they're the Fighting Hawks now. I was a Fighting Sioux, but it was a good chance living in the dorms to get up there and have a beer before we were 21. And so I spent a lot of weekends in Winnipeg.
I gotta tell you guys a story. It kind of sums up Saskatchewan in the winter. Back when I was, hey, no, calm down.
Well, if
it's
you were
a short story.
If you were heckling me during my story,
true.
Which wasn't even a story, it was a question.
Touche. Back when I was guiding up north here for whitetail, I went and picked up a couple of guys from South Georgia at the airport and took them up north to camp. And these old guys just excited like crazy and talking the whole way. We got to a certain point where, as we were traveling up north, where we got into bush and then it opened up into farmland again, and it was blowing like crazy, something like today. And all of a sudden it turned quiet. And honestly, it was kind of a welcome break. And I looked over and they're both looking out the windows of my truck. And a couple of minutes go by and the one guy looks at me and goes, seeing all this snow and cold wind blowing across the prairie, he goes, "Y'all are a hardy people." That is Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
All right.
Warm mittens, long johns, hot coffee.
Also Tim Hortons. We don't get those here.
No.
Oh,
yeah. It's overrated.
I thought they opened to start some places in the States.
Not where we're at, not in Kansas City area where we're at. We're kind of limited on our donut selection.
Let's be honest, it probably would have stuck anyway.
You know, I was an hour south of Columbus, Ohio.
That's it, Duncan.
And they had a Tim Hortons in what the fuck was that name of that town anyway?
Really?
By Jamestown, Ohio, there's a small center there. They had a Tim Hortons there. And I was just tickled fucking pink. Yeah, that was 2015, and I showed up double.
Was it the same, Sean?
Not at all.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, it was the coffee. Yeah. Everything was different. But anyway,
did they have a different name for double?
No, they didn't know. They're like, "What's a double?"
Oh, you're kidding.
No, 2 cream, 2 sugar. Okay.
Did you just yell at them like, "You're not a Tim Hortons"? And just freak out and cause a scene?
How dare you? No, this isn't 2020.
Imposters.
I didn't flip my table and storm out, and people were calling me Karen. It's
listen here, when I get back to Canada, I'm going to tell Tim that you guys are taking his name.
I'm going to write a strongly worded letter and CBC's going to pick it up and anyway.
Anyway, hey, back to
yes, optics.
Listen, I got a question about reticles. Now, mill reticles. I'm just looking at the Cronus BTR, and you've got essentially 3 reticles. The ATSR2, I'm not interested in at all. So let's just go right by that. Personally,
fair enough. Yeah, that'd be the short scope, but you being the long range guy, probably not the option.
Thank you for understanding. If you knew me, you'd know I'm like black and white. Fuck it. So your MOA scopes or the reticles are quite a bit different than your mill reticles. Why is that? Like you'd think thered be some kind of crossover there. Can you answer that?
If you look at the MOA reticle there, look at the illumination on it.
Yeah.
On low power, it's going to look like a illuminated duplex reticle. And down here,
For sure.
a lot of hunters still gravitate towards MOA-based reticles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a first focal plane that you can see on 4.5 power in low light, because that the main subtension's kind of duplicating just an illuminated center X duplex kind of reticle.
Yeah.
At the same time, you have that ability to crank it up and use wind holds and shoot long range and take those longer shots that you typically wouldn't be comfortable with.
Okay.
Ask more technical questions because that's nerd question stuff, but it's like it's better than my nerd
Yeah,
question.
it's good. It's good knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, here I got a question about red dots. So you got the minus TSP3 and TSP4 red dot. What are the main differences in regards to those two?
So the TSP 3 and 4 are actually prisms. So
Yes.
they're going to actually have an etched reticle in them. So if you do lose that illumination, you have something other than a piece of glass to look through. It's kind of the benefit of a prism. The difference between the 3 and 4 is one of them's a fixed 3 power. The other is a fixed 4. It's actually a 3.9, but we just call it a fixed 4 power.
Yeah.
So,
They do look like sex.
They definitely hot sex, sweaty sex. It looks awesome.
You guys are making me uncomfortable right now.
Then you got the TSR1, which is your reflex, right?
Yep, that's a red dot. Yep.
Oh, and you got a TSR2 it takes double A's.
Yeah, that's kind of the nice part of the TSR2. Really great option for an AR. Runs like you said on it's a AAA or double A. AAA.
Oh, triple A, my bad.
And
you can actually take that off the riser and drop it on little carbines like your Ruger 10.2.
Yeah.
Mount low enough that it's comfortable there, and you don't have to have the riser on most of your traditional stocks.
Yeah.
I've got one on a shotgun. Works out really well.
What's the drop like? Like how tough are those? Are they like say you're out hunting or you're out shooting gophers or whatever?
It doesn't matter. You can run over it with your F-350.
That's
No,
it.
no,
Yeah.
but
Toss it down a mountain.
No, you're right. It's a legitimate question.
There's still a time where say you're out and you drop it coming out of your truck or whatever, right?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, comparative to some of the other, red dots like aim point, they hold their zero very well. And I'm just wondering how that sort of compares, right?
Customer service response here is, well, I recommend not dropping it. It is a precision piece of glass. There's only so much it can take. They're durable. Like I said, when you guys are free gunning with these, throwing them in barrels, I've dropped them all the time. I have one of them that I've had in a case for almost 2 years traveling the country in the back of a transit van. It's taken a beating and still lights up and works. So,
and does that have the battery life? 50,000 hour battery life on a AAA? How do you guys get that out of that?
Part of that's that shake weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe that
shake weight. Huh?
Yeah, it's a shake weight. Shake weight. You also have fuel
Man, I was hoping you weren't going to do that.
Chris is really in tuned right now.
Yeah, so the shake and wake feature is pretty awesome. Grab it, it's ready to go. I believe it stays on for about 8 minutes, and then it goes off into like a standby mode. So lights off, but still running.
You never know that it actually goes off as soon as you bump it.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Nice.
That conversation was slow. I was half listening to you guys because I was reading about the TSR1 and thinking about how there's a custom 1022 manufacturer in Canada just started Grey Birch Solutions, and they're making a 1022 receiver that doesn't have a pick rail on the top. It's specifically for like RMR type sights. Like red dots, and like this thing would look fantastic on top of one of those receivers. Like
definitely,
it would be fantastic. So, truth is, I was only half listening to your guys' conversation, and I was really not sure if you were talking about masturbation or scopes.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
So I just decided to stay quiet until that part of the conversation was over.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Welcome to the First Vocal Plane podcast.
Our guests are now
This is what happens. This is what happens when you bring like untested people on to cover for people who are going to show up anyway.
Have you been tested?
Well, now I have.
So
wait a minute, tested for what?
Okay. Enough of
on a guy's comment. So a guy there says we would look like the biggest thing since canned bread. Is that a good thing?
I'm not sure. I can't
Because
see
here
that
it's the
canned
biggest
bread
thing
is
since
good.
sliced bread. But I've
Canned
never
bread.
seen canned bread before.
You
Well,
brought the
here,
wrong
hey.
comment up there, Sean.
Listen,
No,
bring up
Francois is
Francois.
French. You never know. Maybe canned bread is a thing.
I think it may be a Quebec thing. That's what I'm going to go with. Yeah.
Well, Francois is in Saskatchewan, but he's got relates in Ontario, so you never
We won't
know.
hold
You
that
never know
against
it crosses. Yeah.
Mike, friend of the show, Mike says, would you consider doing a Midas HMR type hunting scope with an exposed elevation turret, but lower profile turret height,
Yeah.
similar to the SFP model, in 2.5 to 15 by 56 with the IR MOA reticle in first focal plane? That is very specific, Mike.
That is
Yes. a non-brush snagging
it's almost
turret.
Most of like people asking for a 3 to 18.
it would be like a Midas tack with a little bit more low profile turret. The Midas tack line, first focal plane, exposed elevation, capped windage turret. As far as the HMR goes, it's not something I've ever considered because usually guys are wanting both capped. A lot of exposed, locking of some kind to where they're not going to bump it. I've always been one of those guys. I don't ever dial while hunting. It's not, I'm not taking that far of a shot typically. Maybe. The ideas like that we always take into consideration for sure, and that's something we'll mill about and see if there is a market for it.
That's really close to one of the comments we get here a lot about folks wanting a 3 to 18 with capped or locking windage with an exposed elevation turret. The low profile one that throws me off. That's the first time I've had a request for a low profile elevation turret.
Is
Most
that
guys want to
right?
be able to grab a hold of that with a gloved hand and have something to grab onto. In fact, we get
Something real
requests for
distinct and
larger
audible.
turrets.
The bigger the turrets, the better. Hey, look,
Yeah.
Is that right? I'm kind of thinking the same way with a lower profile, smaller turret, like not necessarily smaller diameter, but just lower. I've always found it snagging on things and things like that. I've the highest end optics that I have are Bushnells. I got a DMR and an ERS.
There you go.
Yeah, and I do like those turrets, honestly, except for the fact that you got to pull the suckers way the hell up there. You got to use some muscle to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's interesting because, like you said, the biggest thing we hear is bigger turret, taller turret, louder clicks. Seems to be what people want the most. But yeah.
Well, I can see where they're coming from with the more audible and tactile clicks, right? That makes definite sense. But having it large and in charge, that's just ounces equal pounds and pounds equals pain, right? So, especially if you're running it around or trucking it through the bush, I'm not conducive to that. But anyway.
Luke had a really good question. He wants to know if you guys provide product to YouTube influencers for review, and if you do, which one should we check out? I don't think he's asking for product because he's an influencer.
No.
I think he's wondering where on the social medias or interwebs can he find people reviewing your guys' products?
Well, check out the Athlon Optics YouTube channel. There's some great
that's a good start
on there. Yeah.
We actually have a playlist for testimonials. As we find them, we post them there. Sure, we've sent stuff out, as most every company does. The difference is we don't pay for reviews. We'll send product out on loan to some influencers. They'll review it. They'll send it back. We don't pay for them. We just see what happens. So
definitely.
That way we're getting honest reviews, just from the heart. Yeah.
Well, and didn't 22 Plinkster do a bit of a review on one of your optics there at one point? I think he did. Doing some.
I don't know if 22 Plinkster did. We've had Ultimate Reloader. Source Rex. That was a big deal on the Aries ETR launch.
Good for you guys.
Our Life just created our new Argos 20 to 60 spotting scope, the best buy of 2020.
Yeah.
So that was a good one.
Yep. Binoculars tend to get an award every year, every other year.
Wire cutter reviews, best glass in a bird watching bino.
Yeah.
I think we did something like best glass in a range finding bino at one time.
That was, I think that
Shot
was
show.
at NRA, actually,
NRA.
wasn't it? It was either Shot Show or NRA. The Cronus Range Finding Binos got best glass. A lot of companies struggle with getting rid of that blue or green hue that you see from the LCD screen. Yeah, that's pretty much negligible in our Cronus range finding bino. It is very bright and clear, and that hue is just due to nothing. So
Nice. Peter on the Facebook says,
Absolutely.
what's the difference between the 624 by 50 minus TAC HD and the minus BTR Gen 2 4.5 27 by 50, other than the minimal magnification difference?
And the
That's a
reticle,
Dave
because they have a
question.
different reticle too,
Yeah,
right?
They definitely
other than kind of the specifics as far as reticle and stuff like that, the Midas Tech line is first focal plane. The Midas BTR Gen 2 line is second focal.
Oh,
So a little option for either one. As you know, first focal plane's a lot more popular, so we really only have for kind of the long range stuff, that would be kind of the top in that Midas BTR, but that's the main difference.
nice.
Midas BTR being like the longer range static stuff, right? With the second focal plane, I'm assuming.
It depends. There's some guys who still like it.
yeah,
When you say
no doubt.
there's
a lot of hunters.
I still get calls from those guys that say things like, "Yeah, I only shoot second focal plane. I don't want to figure out first."
Yeah.
Cool fucking story, bro.
I that doesn't make any sense to me. You just you just turn the magnification and shoot. But
Right. So for your second focal plane scopes, where does your true magnification lie typically, if you can, if it's a common throughout your line?
So with the most of them, it is the highest power. So on like the 2.5 to 15
good.
on the Midas HMR, it'd be 15 power. The Midas BTR is the exception. I believe it's 15 as well on that. 12
Okay.
to 15, somewhere in there. It's in the manual. I'd have to go grab it. But for the most part, I think like the 6 to 24, like Talos line, is like 18 power as well. So if it's a real higher power scope, it comes down. But otherwise, highest power.
Yeah, that's something that before I made the move to first focal plane, way back when first focal plane was just starting to get popular, I found it a real pain in the ass to find that true magnification spot, right? To actually do some measuring and proper wind and elevation calls, all that kind of stuff. It always sort of amazed me, and maybe you guys can answer this, why certain manufacturers put that true magnification in a place other than the max magnification, because to try and hit that, like if you've got a top end of mute that, god
What the fuck
damn
am I
it.
hearing
Sorry.
right now?
My bad.
Sean's got a piss jug beneath
Yeah,
him.
I'm pouring a drink. Sorry.
If you've got a top end of 24 power and your true mag is at 18 or 16 or something like that, why is that?
Field of view. As you know, looking through a scope, higher magnification, that's going to neck that field of view down. If you're hunting whitetail in the wide open Kansas prairie here, I want to see a wide shot of it. I don't want to neck that field of view down.
Yeah.
So they'll
I
put it.
suppose, yeah. Okay.
Mhm. So that's why when you get into those like 27 powers on the Midas BTR, because even when we've done long range shooting, like you guys know, I never go 15 power. I don't know if I've ever been to 20 power.
Yeah.
A mile and a half.
Right. So that's higher power doesn't always mean farther, and just a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, you bet. It's just the a simple way to get to your true mag is just crank it up to the top, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of times where you're shooting 1,000 yards or whatever the heck, and you don't necessarily need that 20 or 24, especially when there's mirage involved, right? Lots of times I find I'm down at 13, 14, something like that, just to try and cut through that, depending on the size of your target out at 1,000. For F class, what the heck is that? That's 36 inches, the outside of the damn thing. So lots of room there. Spudman has a great question. I think, would it be possible to build a scope with a bubble level right in the glass? That's probably a big ask.
Definitely.
Sure. I would say, it's possible. It's the first time I've ever heard that. I mean,
Counter question: how many will you pre-order, Spudman, if they do?
Yeah. No kidding.
Let's see if he comes back to us there. But I've seen stuff, all sorts of different stuff built into glass, looking through different scopes. A lot of it very gimmicky. I mean, a bubble level would be awesome to have right in the glass, and you can just keep your eye right on it the whole time. It makes perfect sense, but that's something I've never thought of.
Just put a marble in the bottom of the objective lens there.
He's one for sure.
He's in for what? Yeah, you got your. Hey, it all starts with the first product sold.
That's it.
That's right.
First one's the hardest, right?
Yeah. You're gonna be look out for 2023, the new Athlon Spudman.
Yeah.
I don't remember that in my Greek mythology
It'll
course.
shoot a potato at 1,000 yards. Yeah, exactly.
There's so many different Greek myths. I'm sure there's one that covers the
Right.
Spudman.
I was gonna say
Greek or Irish? I'm not sure. Well, right on, guys. Well, thanks for coming on. We're not quite finished yet, but thanks, guys, for answering the questions.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
We covered a wide range of topics.
You guys are great.
Yeah, that was awesome. You guys are good sports. So thanks. This is a good opportunity for us to give a shout out to Call Sign 66, veteran-based foundation founded to facilitate multi-generational passage of information, ballistic applications, R&D, and shooter development, whose collective function is morally motivated and experience-based. God, a lot of big words. Welcome to the Brotherhood. No, they do great courses. We're looking to do one this spring if COVID subsides, so we'll check that out. Do you guys? Let's start with Dave and Dustin here. Do you guys have any shout-outs this week?
I guess hi, Mom.
Just make something up.
I don't think she's listening, but that's the good one to go with, right?
I'd like to thank Coffee for always tasting great.
I'm going to shout out Budman. He's a good recommendation.
For the great product idea.
The great product, another happy customer.
Trademark that son of a gun.
Nice. Dustin?
I have no shout outs tonight.
There's a lot of people that we enjoy working with in the industry. I don't want to pick favorites, but just the industry as a whole.
Nobody listens to this podcast anyway, so you can shout out whoever you want.
Trying to think who would be listening right now.
Cody, your mom.
Your mom.
Hi, Mom. Yeah.
Spudman, no, you don't get royalty.
No.
Always with the royalties.
Yeah.
We'll give you a shout out.
Just a sticker. A sticker with your next scope purchase.
Mike Heineck, big shout out to Athlon for being a sponsor of the Canadian Rimfire Precision Series. I can't verify that, but shout out to.
It's true.
Let's hold that up. So Dustin gets all the thanks for something like that.
Canadian Rimfire. From what I understand, you guys are pretty much like NRL 22 down here.
That's all we have now. Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
That was a new one for us here this year, and look forward to doing it again next year. So
nice.
Yeah, 22 falls under the 22 joules restriction now. Yeah.
Chris, who do you got for a shout out?
I'm just happy to be here. You really like me.
Okay, I never want to hear that again. You're gonna have to crawl out of the ditch for that.
I would, you know what? Here's my shout out. I would really like to shout out that white-tailed deer this afternoon who was stupid enough to walk right up to me so I could shoot him in the head.
Nice.
Nice. Filling
because he's gonna be good eats.
Yep.
Nice.
Nice. Kurt?
No shout out in particular. I've been, as usual, away working, except for tonight. Other than the guys at Athlon, thank you very much for coming on. It was great.
Oh wait, can I change my answer to the guys at Athlon?
No,
it's too late.
No,
we know
you-
where you stand.
that's right. Thank
You
you.
know what, Rooster? You're invited down for barbecue. You know?
But I already got invited down to shoot at 600 meters with a 22. That's
All right, you
that's-
can all come. Why not?
yeah.
Yeah, why
Anybody
not?
can do that. I got barbecue.
That's right.
Hey,
Andre?
Barbecue and hogs, damn it.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah,
we
from
don't
a
Free
have,
helicopter.
I can go south.
we don't have hogs in Kansas yet. Maybe we can't hunt them yet.
What?
Southern Missouri, Texas, Arkansas, Southern Missouri.
It's just a short road trip. Don't worry.
Yeah,
about it.
it's only a couple hours away.
Okay, deal.
Basically, whitetail or coyote, turkey. We don't have any pheasant or quail anymore.
Oh well, I mean,
Well, way out west.
Yeah,
Way out
about as
west.
far as hogs are from us.
And Antifa, they're open season, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Depends on who you talk to.
You don't have to answer that.
As long as you're not a
I-
17-year-old.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. no
I have
kidding.
3 shout outs here. I have one going to Dave and Dusty. You guys are phenomenal, good sports. Thanks for coming on. You guys killed it. Thank you for answering questions. Thank you for working late, by the
No
way.
problem.
This is phenomenal. I got another one to Kelly and the CCFR, Canadian Coalition for Firearm Rights calendar group. They just released their calendars. You'll be supporting
The
the
Gunny
I
Girl?
believe, the Gunny Girl
good
calendar.
work.
You'll be supporting the women's program, and also by de facto, you'll be supporting the CCFR legal challenge against the OIC in May, so that we can actually use cool guns if that gets stayed. And also, I have a big shout out to Kurt and Derek, Kurt Stubb and Derek Bostock at the Red Deer Shooting Center. They actually hooked me up with a Maple Ridge Armory Renegade straight pull AR style or AR controls. They didn't give it to me. I had to pay for it, but
Wait a second. Thanks
yeah,
for
yeah,
sharing
just-
that information.
we will get.
In case they're listening, I'll
received it
give them your shipping address right now.
Yeah,
It's
they
in
already have it.
Saskatoon. Fuck.
Right.
So we got that coming, and as the 3 of us know, besides those guys, that's really the only game in town. So look for a video of a complete build on that coming soon to our YouTube channel.
That's great.
Is anyone else waiting
What
for the
else?
308 version of that?
I also want to give a shout out, since he's listening, Matt Hipwell, man in charge of Wolverine Supplies in Verdon, Manitoba.
Yes, sir.
Him and his father are fighting tooth and nail against the OIC, or the Order in Council for the ban. Shout out to those guys. Keep up the good fight. Support them, Wolverine Supplies. Just Google them. I don't know the website, but they got a ton of shit on there. They're awesome. So, yeah,
I believe it's wolverinesupplies.ca.
I believe
Yeah, they're
so.
a big distributor for us.
Yeah, I
You
think
bet.
we met those
Good.
guys at Shot last year,
Yep.
didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matt,
that's,
Matt and his crew there are good. They're great.
It's
deals.
WolverineSupplies.com, by the way.
.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
WolverineSupplies.com, not .ca.
They've
Thanks, Chris.
helped kind of help with the Canadian Rimfire Precision Series there, and
Mhm.
putting that together with us. So yeah,
And they
Wolverine-
have
Man,
a
they help
great-
with a lot of stuff.
They do.
Yep.
They have
Yeah.
a great program in the spring called Wolverine Days, where they have an open house for their range there. And they bring in all the distributors, and you can come in, pay minuscule amounts of money, and go shoot whatever you want. And then they also have prohibited weapons on there, like a M28 Thompson or a 1928 Thompson. They have a 50 cal M2 Browning. They shoot. It's just they got cool shit there. So if you guys can make,
They're
the
like,
trip,
we have
it's
that
awesome.
in like my house.
I know,
Yeah,
eh?
exactly.
Yeah.
Apologies to Mr. Wesley Stevens.
Telling
We ran
Americans
out
how
of time
cool
for
the
you.
guns are.
America. Fuck yeah, but yeah, apologies, Mr. Wesley Stevens. We ran out of time for you this week again.
Sorry, Wes.
We had a more prominent guest to come on tonight, so we had to make room for them. And big
You
shout
gotta
out to
do
John.
better, Wes.
You know, he's trying, man. He's on me like shit on Velcro. So Big shout out to John Johnston and his band, the Dirt Road Scholars, based out of West Virginia, for the music. That was awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And yeah, that was a great show.
That was
Thanks,
awesome, guys. Thanks for having us.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
No problem.
boys.
Thank you.
See you
Take
next
it
time.
easy,
Thanks
guys.
to all the listeners. Next week.
Next week. We got a good show next week. Check out our Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Bye.
Boom.